moment they just need a foul, a long throw, a direct ball to create that chaos. You have to defend the action as well. We lose the timing of that, and we can see the goal. So very disappointed, because even at the end, in the last minute, we have again a massive chance with Ricky and Miguel to win it, and it didn't mean to be. So we have to accept it.
Difficult game, difficult environment to play in. I feel like we've done extremely well, especially in the second half, to come back and to put in the performance we put in. But yeah, we'll go into the international break, top of the league, and we'll keep a bit of perspective.
Did the block at the end mean as much, if not more, than the goal you scored?
The stage of the game, I mean, if we conceded there, it would have been a huge blow. So it probably meant more in the end, but there's no feeling like scoring a goal.
It was a tough game, as expected, because we knew before that we faced probably one of the best teams in Europe. I think now we have this faith, this belief that until the final whistle, anything is possible.
And Sunderland have shown all season that anything is possible. They could have gone second if they'd won this game. They're unbeaten at home. What was so impressive about this performance against Arsenal, Alan?
Well, particularly Dan Ballard. I think he epitomised everything that Sunderland have done so well, particularly at home this season, with his aggression, with him and his teammates stopping Arsenal playing, particularly in that first half. And they are really, really tough to play against, and there were so many examples of that today, with him and other players putting their body on the line, you know, for their team and for the atmosphere. And I said he sort of summed everything up. We're going to talk about this after, but look how difficult it is to get through, how many players they've got behind the ball, and then I think that's really good defending. As I said, we'll talk more in a minute about that, but that is really, really tough, aggressive defending. Then he more than plays his part with this. I mean, he makes it difficult to clear, but have a look at the touch and the finish. Goodness me, any forward would be proud of that finish. Then when they're piling the pressure on, he makes it really difficult there. The flick on in for Brian Brobby, who then finishes off with a great finish. But it starts with him being aggressive in the box and not letting the Arsenal players defend the way they want to, and then they get the reward. And then Arsenal come back at them, and they straight down the other end. And I said, putting your body on the line for your team, that's exactly what I mean, and that's why it means so much to him as the defender, to stop in that. And you can see the reaction from all the fans from behind the goal. And Arsenal will not have many tougher games than that this season, I promise you. And you can see, I mean, he started his career at the Arsenal Academy, and what a performance him and Sunderland put in today. I thought they thoroughly deserved the point.
Yeah, Dan Ballard, player of the match. But you mentioned that challenge on Marino. They looked at it, VAR looked at it and decided there was nothing to see there. What was your view on it, Theo?
Well, my view, I look at it a little bit differently, to be honest, and it's not clear and obvious. However, it's early in the game, it's 7 minutes in the game, and Don Ballard, of course, wants to put his mark on the game, should we just call it. And Mikel Arteta spoke about being disruptive, and he's definitely, from my opinion, right, he's disruptive. And there's a slight movement from the elbow to Marino's cheekbone. Me and Al definitely probably don't agree on it. However, I do feel like his elbow's in quite a high condition, should we just call it, and it was very disruptive, and it did.
I think, as a defender, if he allows that forward to get across him, Marino, his manager goes absolutely berserk at him. That's his space, and he cannot allow any forward to get across him. So he then settles himself, and then he goes for the header. He can't jump without doing that for a header, and I don't think there's anything deliberate there at all. I think it's more brilliant defending than anything else.
And you would have done that if you were challenging for the ball as a striker?
I wouldn't allow anyone to sort of get in me, or in and around me, or in front of me, and that's his job as a defender. He cannot allow the forward to get in front of him, and he didn't.
Theo, as Alan was saying earlier, Sunderland's game plan worked perfectly, particularly in the first half. But what changed for Arsenal in the second half?
What changed? Mikel Arteta got into the dressing room first before the players, and the intensity was the biggest challenge that they had to face, because they were up against a very tough Sunderland team who haven't been beaten at home this year, and the numbers they committed forward as well. At times, Bukayo Saka was finding it hard in the first half to get involved in the game, but this is what I'm talking about, the bravery of committing bodies forward. Declan Rice always starts to press, and if you give Arsenal an opportunity, they're going to punish you. Simple as that. And you can't afford to do that, because Sunderland worked tremendously hard. You know, Al spoke, a couple of weeks ago about the fullbacks committing forward, and putting in positions where you don't really expect. But this is what we're talking about, the difference, the bravery, the committing the bodies forward, like I said before. And this is where I felt at times Arsenal were always going to cause problems and make chances out of nothing. There's a little bit of a snapshot here, but this was the danger. This is the warning signs that Sunderland had to be aware of. Zubimendi, I felt, was absolutely brilliant in the second half. Just a bit unlucky here, of course. But this is the luck that Arsenal probably get in this season because of they don't give up. They don't give you many opportunities. And Leandro Trossard, for me, is a player that is probably at times, there's been questions, but you can just see here, Sadiki points to Hume to say, look, you take him. But I don't understand why you would then step and give that opportunity, that space to Trossard, particularly coming the inside. And you can see how disappointed he is. It's a fantastic finish, not taking a finish away, but look, Leandro Trossard's come up with very, very important goals right now for Arsenal Football Club. And I think it's a really good point in the end, to be honest with you. And when I look at it, it's a balanced game. I think Sunderland probably deserves something out of the game, but Arsenal as well.
Alan, they'll be looking at Manchester City-Liverpool tomorrow on Match of the Day.
Yeah.
What difference does that Arsenal result make to that game?
No, I agree with Theo. I think in the grand scheme of things, the way it was today and how tough it is for teams going to Sunderland, I think a point's a decent result, and they'll be hoping that those two draw tomorrow.
It's all about attitude. That when I look at that, I feel like that's about attitude, and that's about not getting your head down in difficult moments when you go behind in games. So it's a great achievement and a great start for them. And again, they've done it tonight and earned themselves a point.
And you talk about attitude. Arsenal showed great attitude, as they have all season, because Saka, early in the second half, came out and equalised. Marino played his part as well in the goal, and we thought, right, they're off.
Yeah, it was a great reaction. Like I said, in the second half, look at Declan Rice. He's absolutely superb. I thought he was terrific all game today, winning the ball back with a high press. And then obviously Saka finishing it off in the near post. You just look at Declan Rice here, his attitude, his desire to go win it and press. Lafy just kind of, he holds on to the ball too long. You see there from Roofs, he's putting his arms up in the air. He can see what's behind him. He can see the pressure coming. He's wanting the ball back to maybe then clear and go long. That's the only time I saw in the game up until this point that Sunderland took risk. I thought it was a risky pass into me.
Anyway. But no, it's an unbelievable strike. And trust me, these balls are different. They are faster. Because I train with them at Arsenal, and even I can generate speed with them. So that's telling you a lot about the new ball.
And sometimes when the game's so tight and you're looking for players to kind of, to do something special. And that was a real special goal.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic hit from Trossard.
And despite the fact it's 2-2, in the 94th minute, Arsenal still had a chance, didn't they, to win it very late on. What a story and what a turnaround this would have been.
It would have been, but it's an absolutely amazing block by the defender. But, and when it falls to, I think it's Marino, isn't it? Yeah,
No, it's as good as a goal.
Yeah.
Centre-back's point.
That save there is decent.
Here we go, look, body on the line.
No.
And Dan Bollard was
It's
involved.
him again.
Everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Honestly, obviously the goal, the finish was superb. He was involved for the first header for the goal, and obviously then at the end, a match-saving challenge. So he had a terrific game as well.
So what do Arsenal learn from this? Of course,